Hey guys, Ash here at Flight Sim Reviews, and I'm just looking at the Eaglesoft Citation X version 2.0 for FSX, and this is my final review of this aircraft. I just got done building my new machine for FSX. It's a i7 2600K with 8GB of DDR 1600 RAM and a GTX 580. If you are on the fence looking at the 2500K or 2600K from Intel, I would highly recommend it. I saw enormous performance increases from my 965 Phenom to the tune of 50 to 60 frames per second more than I was getting. So, and that was just at stock clocks. I've now overclocked it to 4.5 gigahertz. So, now that it's up and running, let's go ahead and finish this up here. As for the exterior, I would give this plane a 4 out of 5 on exterior, and only because some of the textures on the plane are a little low. I mentioned that earlier, but other than that, it's a really beautiful flight model. They've really gotten all the lines and all that extremely right. So the lighting package, the animations, all that on this aircraft are absolutely fantastic. As far as the interior, I would give it a 4 out of 5 again. The only reason it doesn't get 5 with me is some of the edges are rough here and there, and I don't know if it's just the way Eaglesoft codes or that, but it seems to be their programming manner of cockpit panel that seems not to have very much pop. I mean, some of it looks 3D, but like, you know, where it says thrust reverser here, I'll zoom in. You can see it's really not that crisp, you know. I wish they would come back and really crisp that up, you know. I mean, they have done a really good job on the glass and the avionics. I don't know why they would, you know, leave a word that has a lot of artifacts around it up on the dash. I mean, when you look at stow and emergency, it's almost unreadable. So some of that I wish they would come back and clean up in a patch, but it's certainly a great cockpit. I did show you the cabin back here. You can open and close the doors. There's a full cabin back here. I'll show it again real quick. That has a lot of different options that you can do with it. Move chairs, watch TV, and make yourself a drink if you want. Anyways, again, I wish they wouldn't waste time on those kind of things and they would just concentrate on the cockpit. I think you would get a much better final product with the cockpit if they wouldn't waste so much time on these cabins. Avionics. I think the avionics on this plane, easily 5 out of 5. The Honeywell radio is done extremely well. There's multiple pages to it. The FMC is fully functional. Every switch for these MFD and PFDs works. Nothing really in this cockpit is non-functional. Everything is extremely functional with it. As far as the flight model, I've done some climb performance tests, etc. Max performance climb, max performance descent. Everything seems to be well within the specifications of the actual aircraft, so Eaglesoft certainly took their time and gave it a really accurate flight model. So it's not one of those planes where you get it out of control and then it starts doing wild and strange things. So very nice plane to fly, pretty easy to fly. The stab trim for me adjusts really quickly if you have it on a hat switch on your stick or yoke like I do. It really wants to float around a lot really quickly, so you can move it 6 or 7 degrees with just a touch of the button, and that seems a little too touchy. I wish they'd back that down a little bit, and I can go into my custom settings and do that. It's just kind of strange that this aircraft bumps the trim so fast where others are very slow at adjusting your elevation trim stab. As for stability, for the product, I have had extremely good luck with it. I have not had one lockup, one crash, one CTD out of FSX with this aircraft. I've gone in and out on the views, trying to, you know, push stuff into the RAM so I could get it to crush the program, and it just won't. It is really stable. Eaglesoft is clearly taking the time to make sure it's not chewing up RAM, and if it is, it clears it out of the cache so that FSX doesn't have very many crashes with it. Again, no crashes, so 5 out of 5 for stability. Price, this plane is $49.95 US dollars, so if you're elsewhere in the world, our currency isn't doing the greatest right now, you'll get a little cheaper. If you're in the US, you get a shell out $49.95. Price, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars there as well. I wish add-ons weren't a full $50, but one side of me feels like, wow, there's a ton of work that's gone into this, and $50 is a steal. And there's another side of me that's saying, wow, you know, that's $50, $60 down the hole with tax, and if you ship it for a CD copy, you're out even more for one airplane. But it could be argued that each airplane here is a complete simulation, and FSX is merely the emulator for the sim that you're buying. So I think it's more than fair at the price. I've seen worse aircraft at higher prices, and I've seen better aircraft at lower prices, so it's about right. I am about out of comments for this airplane. I hope you enjoyed my first set of reviews here on Flight Sim Reviews on YouTube, and I will certainly be bringing you many more in the future. For this aircraft, I give it 4.5 out of 5 wings from Flight Sim Reviews, and it easily earns my top choice award. Thanks for watching, and I hope you stay tuned for more Flight Sim Reviews.